Good morning, folks. I wanted to do a little bit of a discussion here about something that happened to me Monday. So, I'm at my customer and I back into the dock and I pulled up to pull the tandems, because this is one of those customers we have to have the tandems all the way to the rear. So, you pull out the red valve, this one, for your trailer brakes so you can slide your tandems. And I do that. And lo and behold, I get back in the truck and go to back the truck up. And now this red brake valve would not go in. And I'm like, okay, let's check everything, because I'm hearing air from behind me, so I'm thinking, well, maybe it was the glad hand connected to the trailer, right? So I checked that. It wasn't that. I checked the little rubber seals on the glad hands. It wasn't that. I had a Warner driver who was beside me in the dock. I had him come over and listen as I pushed the emergency brake in and held it in with all my strength. And he said, well, I hear air coming out from underneath the cab. So, I called the shop. They told me to switch them out. And I'm like, I can do that, but I still have to hold the emergency brake valve in and to get it back to the dock. So that's how I got it back to the dock, was I put the service line, the blue line, on the red line and held the valve in as hard as I could with all my weight and bounced back the truck back to the dock so it could get unloaded. And they sent a wrecker truck out, right? And I'm thinking, okay, well, the Warner guy told me that he heard air coming out from underneath the dash, underneath the cab. And I'm used to Freightliners, and this was an International that I was in Monday. So their brakes are up here where these power outlets are in this Freightliner. So, and I'm thinking, I don't hear any air out of the dash, which would tell me that the tractor valve, which connects these two, would be broke, right? Because then you could hear air in the dash. Well, on the International, it's a little bit strange how they have it set up, is the back side of your dash is literally right there by the firewall in the engine compartment. So what I'm talking about is when you raise the hood, if you look like you're going to look into the front of the truck, instead of going, looking into the driver's door, you're going to look on that front there, right in front of the driver's seat, up against that wall inside the engine compartment. So that's called a firewall, is what we call it. And, the wrecker guy says, okay, we'll push the valve in. I said, okay, well, it's not going to lock in. I got to just hold it in. And I'm pushing it in, and you can hear the air. And he's like, yeah, the whole tractor valve has broke. And I'm like, well, how does that happen? And he's like, they just go bad. I'm like, but how come I can't push it? Why can't I even just push it in? So if you run into this on the road, more than likely it is your tractor valve has gone bad. And that's this valve right here. So there's a valve right in the middle of these two. And these are just extensions off of that valve. So when you push it in on the International, one side could work, but the connection from here to here could be broke. And if that happens, then this button won't push in. Okay. I'm trying to explain it on the Freightliner here, obviously, because I'm not in the International, obviously, today. But yeah, that is what happened. And it took 30 minutes me trying to explain that to the shop over the phone before we finally figured out that that's what that was. And then it even took a wrecker truck to come out and look at the truck, and it was so bad, guys. He had to pin the brakes on the trailer out so that I could pull it out of the dock, and then he had to unpin them so I could slide the tandems back, and then he had to pin them again so the brakes would never engage on the trailer. And that's how we were able to get the trailer back to the yard with that truck. So, not an easy thing to do. And that wasted for me Monday. That wasted almost 4 hours of the day for that. And so I just wanted to come on here and tell everybody that, hey, sometimes in trucking we have issues. Like this morning, I get in this truck and you can already see the windshield right here is cracking, and it was cracked up to here when I got in the truck, and it's since started to spread. And I've already told the boss about that. I'm like, you put me in another truck, you bring this other truck, and this truck has got a broken windshield. So it's like, and it's got stuff on the inside. I don't know if you can see that, but it's got stuff on the inside of the windshield, which is disgusting. It's disgusting. Okay, if I had some Windex, I would be cleaning the windshield right now, but I don't have any Windex, so I'm kind of stuck with it, right? But guys, look, I don't want to sound like a Karen here, but if you're driving a big truck, please try and keep your dials and your dash clean, and try and keep the area in front of your driver area clean. So your dash should be clean, right? It shouldn't be anything on your dash, right? And the reason I say that, and I'm probably speaking to brand new drivers right now, but the reason you do that, which is the same reason why I wear gloves when I drive, is protect my hands, right? But you do that so that DOT doesn't see a whole bunch of junk up on your dash. And because if DOT, when you pull into a scale house, sees a whole bunch of junk up here, he's going to pull you in and do a full inspection. I can almost guarantee you that. So if you have to store a bunch of shit like this, store it down out of sight, below the windows. Okay, I understand that you got a lot of stuff that you got to take with you. I got that. Okay, try and not have it up on the dash. Or if you are one of those who has the desk over here instead of the passenger seat, try and put everything down below the level of the window. And that's what I have for you this morning. My little escapade with the tractor valve, which in 20 years, I've never seen a tractor valve go bad like that. I mean, it just went bad, just out of the blue. I mean, I drove all the way here, no problem, and then it just broke. It was just crazy, right? So, it happens. It happens, folks. So, y'all have a blessed day. Bicycle.